Alright, let's do this thing. For Honor is a predictable, skillless mess that lacks depth. Ubisoft's latest update has been released on June 13th, 2025, which includes the removal of stamina drain and stamina pause on every single move in the game except a few. Hey now, I'm Pole Productions and I've been playing For Honor since 2018. The main menu used to look something like this. Shaman and Armusha were new, man. Jesus. I've also been friends with the guy, you may know of him. His name is with one S. I've been friends with him since from 2018 till now. Just say that. So I know a couple things about the game. Just saying. Remember that time I beat you on console? Don't make me whip out the Shidoken again, bro! I'm not fucking. Just keep in mind that I will be going over the duels game mode of For Honor. I do not care about 4v4 modes, and I don't know much about them other than that they are bad, and I don't find them fun to play. Duels is where I understand the skill and balance of the game. This channel is filled with videos of me playing my favorite games, it's not just For Honor. The reason that I'm uploading this video is because I love For Honor, and I am exhausted from getting the changes that Ubisoft has been making for the past few years. I will go in depth of why this most recent update is absolutely terrible, and how it's damning evidence of Ubisoft's direction of this game. I want to go back in time a little bit. Don't worry, I'm going to stay on point. I'm not going to go over every single update and every single patch that we've ever had, but just the major ones that I think have ruined this game objectively. First, I want to go over the CCU, the Core Combat Update that was released on August 6th of 2020. From what I understand, the goal of this update was to make offense more viable and light spam not so viable. The meta at the time was to turtle up and parry your opponent, which back then, parrying drained a ton of your stamina, punishing players that threw attacks. In my opinion though, the CCU went too far when Ubisoft decided to make parrying not drain any stamina at all. This is an issue because now the meta went from turtling to just brainlessly attacking your opponent. You simply weren't punished very hard for attacking. Sure, let's say I parry you and now it's my turn, but you still have the remainder of your stamina, which could be somewhere between full or empty. Stamina drain on parries used to always guarantee you your turn because they were low on stamina or tired, which forced them to be on the defense. What they should have done, in my opinion, is just pause your stamina. Just pause your stamina from regenerating for a few seconds when you got parried. That way you had a choice between either exhausting the rest of your stamina in some form of an interrupt, or taking your punishment and staying on the defense. So this is where the gameplay began to suffer, in my opinion. Just a reminder, this recent patch is what I think is what's going to kill this game. The removal of stamina drain and stamina pause. Look dude, we can go on why each rework has been either bad or good or whatever. We can talk about that almost every character now has a bash or an unblockable, dodge attacks were given to like every single character. At least the ones that didn't have a dodge bash because of this fucking guy. But the core mechanics of the game made each character viable in some way. At least most of the time. I say most of the time because some characters hard countered others and some people can react to every single move in the game. While some of those changes are a factor in why For Honor sucks right now, they were only chipping away at the skill gap little by little until now, where we finally broke the camel's back. With the current state of the game right now in this moment, skill and balance are no longer a thing in For Honor. I'll give you an example of a matchup with Warden. With the recent changes, Warden can't drain or pause your stamina with his bash anymore. The problem is that Warden also can't have his stamina drained or paused. This causes Warden to still play exactly the same as he did before. You see, by removing all characters' moves to drain and pause stamina regen, Warden isn't even punished for spamming what is known as the best move in the game, an infinite variable bash chain that grants hyper armor. It even used to drain your stamina and pause it at the same time. Ubisoft really fucked up right here because what they should have done is remove stamina drain and pause to variable time bashes only. So Warden, Sen, Warmonger, they would be nerfed instead of every single person in the game. Variable time bashes are without a doubt the best move you can have, period. Don't even argue with me on that, man. The only exception is Tiandi because of how safe his moveset is. If a character has a variable time bash that they can feint at any time, it shouldn't be so safe to use it. If Ubisoft just made those characters less punishing, then every other character who doesn't have those bashes, they would actually have a decent chance at beating them. Just to summarize my point right now, variable time bashes should have been nerfed, not every character's moveset. So essentially, the only way to run out of stamina now is to just burn yourself out of stamina like an idiot. I mean, dude, how easy is it just to look up for a second to check your stamina before deciding whether you're about to run yourself out? There's this little something in the game called reads, which is when you think someone is about to do a move for a specific reason that will give them an advantage. So let's say, for example, you are low on stamina, right? And you're thinking about throwing an attack of some sort. Let's say Kensei versus Conqueror. If Kensei decides to use his pommel strike on Conqueror while Conk is low on stamina, then Conk will be tired. So now he has to make the read whether I want to run him out of stamina or if I'm baiting him to dodge, which will possibly grant me a bigger punish. That's just one of 100 examples that I can think of that are gone from the game permanently now, dude. Think of any read that has to do with stamina, which is a ton. Those reads no longer exist. You are literally better at the game not knowing about punishing your opponent's stamina pool than if you did. What the fuck? The result is that the skill gap has been lowered immensely. I had to learn how to manage my stamina ever since I installed the game. I had to learn not to be so aggressive all the time, you know? That I can get tired and that I had to read what my opponent's intentions were towards me, whether they wanted to run my stamina out in the middle of my chain or whatever. It's just do you not get that this is stupid? Am I making any sense here right now? Hey, Ubisoft has been making the game less skillful, and it has gotten to the point that no matter who you play against, whether they are an insane player or just a noob, the noob can beat the better player when he shouldn't have. The new guy doesn't even have to learn much about the game anymore. The game just lets him win. The new guy doesn't even have to learn very much about the game anymore to beat the best players in the world. The best players in the world. The best players in the world can lose to a new dude. That's a problem, man. Like my coffee with lots of sugar. To win a game, all you have to know is how to counter GB, feint, and dodge sometimes, and then just spam your moveset. Spam your moveset, and eventually you will win. Instead of getting better at the game, Ubisoft has been making the game easier and easier to play by removing certain aspects of the game. All moves now do less damage because of the CCU. This gives all players more room for more mistakes, which sounds kind of cool, but I like my damage, man. I like doing lots of damage. If the new guy can just keep spamming dodge attacks like 5 freaking times and not die because of it, I mean, I say that because dodge attacks used to be heavies, except a couple. There was some characters had dodge lights, like dodge attacks that counted as light parries, and some were heavies. I mean, at the time, I don't know why we weren't questioning that, but eventually they kind of fixed that, and I appreciate that. That was one good thing that they did that's somewhat recent in the past couple of years. In 2023, all bashes were unreactable, so now you can just beat any player if your character has a bash. I mean, you can one-time people with bashes, which is when you basically react to the movement and you have to make the read. Listen, you have to make the read whether it's a bash sometimes. So for example, you're playing as Jormungandr and you're playing against a guy who's really good at reacting. He can't react to the bash itself, but he can one-time it, meaning he's gonna bash at the very second you do the dodge forward. So now he can punish you with a GB at the end of it. It's really hard to do, but it is a thing. I've done it. It's pretty good. I prefer the bashes the way they were before that. I think it was a whole lot better. You didn't have to. Some bashes were reactable, but not. But now you can just one time every single bash nowadays, which is really freaking annoying. Dodge attacks also cost like no stamina. You can be a shaman player, right? And you can be like a half a percent of stamina on the guy, right? Like the guy will have no stam, and he'll do a dodge attack, and you're like, what the fuck? And it lands, and he's not out of stamina. And I'm thinking, dude, the reason I threw the bash is because you can't do the dodge attack because you'll run out of stamina. Like even if you hit me, it's fine because now you're out of stamina. Now it's my turn. Now you can't fight back. But no, it's not how it goes anymore. You have to literally be at 1% left and then do the dodge attack in order to be out of stamina. Otherwise, they can just throw it and they won't run out. And now I guess it's your turn. But that's still infuriating because let's say they do that nowadays, and you can't run them out of stamina anymore after doing that move. You can't do it. So everyone is. You can't run people out of stamina. You can't get your turn. Essentially, am I making sense? I'll ask you again. Am I making sense, dude? Stamina is no longer drained on block because of the CCU. Zone option select is removed. So now, instead of doing a zone option select, now you do just the dodge attack. What the hell are option selects? If you don't know what an option select is, and you're in Grandmaster or even Diamond, that's a problem. That's a problem, dude. And now with the new changes, we got bashes, don't drain stamina, not even bashes, all moves. No move that used to drain stamina, they don't do anymore. And no move pauses stamina anymore. Unless you like GB them and throw them, or you're Jingju and you choke them, whatever. Like two things. On Raider, he gives you a piggyback ride or something, and that drains your stam. I guess. That's two characters, man, that have the move. Two. Used to be everybody. Everyone had something that did some amount of stamina drain. But now you can't make that read against anybody anymore. This is the end of For Honor. Do you understand? I don't even think there was a testing grounds for this. But fuck it, let's just put it out, man. I might be wrong about that, so let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. Did Ubisoft let us know that they're gonna do this, or did they just do it? Did they give us? What I mean is, did they give us a say? Did we get the choice of that? And did we allow this to happen? Because if we did, I knew the community wasn't that great, but I mean, dude, come on, we might have killed that game. We might have done it finally. These core gameplay changes have added up to what we have today, and they make the skill gap as close as ever before. Meaning, like I said, now the new guy's skill is just getting closer to the guy who has a lot of experience. It's that big. So now, combine these changes with the awful reworks we have gotten over the years, and For Honor is now a predictable, just unfun mess. I mentioned depth in my thesis statement. I've gone over a couple of examples of the depth in this game. Your decision making is limited in both defense and offense now. Every decision you made back then was based on reads. A lot of the time it was based on stamina. Removing stamina damage punishes completely, and now we're left with... Now it's just... We have like Tekken. The game has become Tekken. You know what I mean? Now the game is just performing a combo because that's the character's moveset. There's no other reason to it. You threw it heavy because it was the next part of the character's combo. You bash to get into your combos. Not to run your opponent out of stamina anymore, or to nail that awesome out of stamina punish. I mean, who wants to do that? Who wants to do that? I don't. You don't punch your opponent in the face to run him out of stamina anymore? You don't run your opponent into a wall to get him out of stamina more. You just hit him with that side heavy. Don't even bother bashing with Gladiator. You only waste your own stamina with no guaranteed payoff, dude. Haven't made my point yet. How many more examples do you want me to make before you realize half of the game doesn't even matter anymore? Duels is now ruined with the latest patch, and now I'm considering uninstalling this game after 7 years of supporting it. Oh, but Pirate has a cool skin now. Hummin' Schmur. We get a male variant when every other character with the male variant was free. No, cough up 25,000 seal, please! Aramusha is busted, and now he has his own skin at the same time, knowing people will like him for how strong he is and more likely to buy his skin. Lawbringer's Rework, a janky, easily punishable character with lower damage. They nerfed his damage like 17 times, man, over the years. Centurion, my most favorite character. He's literally in like every thumbnail I have on my channel. Like he's my every For Honor video I have on my channel. The dude is my poster child, man. That's my boy. Cent is my boy. Lawbringer was like my first main, and then Cent was like always the side main, but now he slowly became like my guy. I've been playing both of them since before they got their first reworks. I love Cent. Cent is my man. He used to be so good. Ubisoft, please make Cent, just bring him back to what he did before. I want original Cent, but I want him to be able to feint his attacks. That's it. I didn't know why that was never an option. Now I'm ashamed to play the guy against my friends. Oh, but most players aren't very good at For Honor, so let's just make it easier to beat the experienced players without any effort on the newbie's part. All my learning of For Honor since 2018... Poof! He gone. You know what? Why not just go a step further and let's just remove stamina completely? Like, there's the health pool, right? And then there's the stamina. Fuck it. Just get rid of that shit. Who cares? Who cares? Let's just make every attack from neutral unblockable. Let's make every attack in 200 milliseconds like it's frickin' Mortal Kombat. Guess every move that they throw. Remove all depth from the game. Thanks, Ubi. The state of For Honor is now in the most unhealthy, most frustrating time it has ever been in. I promise you that in a matter of weeks or just a few months, we're gonna regret this, or we're gonna hate these changes. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't get it. I don't understand these changes. They're really stupid. And if you know anything about Ubisoft, they don't revert changes. I can't think of one time they ever made a rework or some sort of a change to the core mechanics, and then they bring it back. Like they make it. I mean, dude, I can't think of one time where they made a rework or they made a change to the core mechanics of the game and then they reverted it back. I can't remember them ever doing that. I know people are going to disagree with me in the comments. I get it. I guarantee you, though, the people that do end up disagreeing with me are people that have been playing the game for about a year or like not even a year, and they get frustrated over over losing their stamina because they got bashed out of their attacks or something like that. And I just want to say those people are most likely bad at the game. Just saying. Well, all hail bash spammers of For Honor, #1 grandmasters of the game now. You're welcome. I hope you learned something about our mutual friend For Honor and why it's not so fun anymore. Maybe I convinced some of you. I look forward to reading the comments. I look forward to that. I genuinely want to know if people like this and why it should stay in the game. It's the first time I ever made a video like this, so hope you consider subscribing. I try to make fun videos. I'm always trying to change up what I do. I kind of want people to watch and then wonder, oh, what's the next video gonna be? What's it gonna be like? And that's my thing. I don't know. I don't like doing the same video format every time. I just can't do that. I won't allow myself to do it. I always when I make a video, it's gotta be, I don't know, it's gotta be different for some reason. It's just how I do it, you know. So Thanks for watching. That was my rant on the new changes. I'm sure there's gonna be another. I'm sure there'll be a better video out there that goes into much more detail on why the game is the way it is. I know it's gonna happen. Someone is gonna be really upset with the game like I am, and they're gonna go into like every single detail of the game. But I don't uh but I don't want to go into all that research because it just to me it just makes I feel like I'm making a ton of sense here. I don't see why this is I don't know why the game is the way it is. I just don't get it.
To the end.